Kneel before Zod. If you've heard that phrase, you already know the name. But who exactly is General Zod, and how did he become one of Superman's most relentless enemies? To answer that, we need to go way back to the doomed planet Krypton. Zod was not some petty criminal. Instead, he was a high-ranking military leader, famed for his strategic mind and unwavering dedication to Krypton's ideals. Born Drew Zod, he worked his way up to become the head of Krypton's military forces, wielding not only power, but also persuasion. Zod saw Krypton facing stagnation, and he blamed the planet's council, including Jor-El, Superman's father. For Zod, their rigidity spelled doom. He didn't trust their leadership, and worse, he believed only he was capable of saving the planet, even if it meant bloody revolution. So, in a moment that would define his legacy, General Zod attempted a coup, rallying a loyal group of followers. He called it a justified uprising. The council called it treason. Zod was swiftly tried and sentenced, alongside his most trusted allies Ursa and Nan. Their punishment? Eternal banishment to the Phantom Zone, an interdimensional prison from which few ever return. But Zod is not so easily contained. By a twist of fate or cosmic misfortune, the destruction of Krypton releases him and his followers from exile. Suddenly, they find themselves freed, on a path that will intersect with Earth, and with its most famous son, Kal-El, now known as Superman. On Earth, Zod quickly learns he has powers heat vision, flight, near invulnerability, just like Superman. But unlike Kal-El, Zod isn't interested in blending in. He wants conquest. He wants order, most of all. He wants vengeance for Krypton's destruction and a new empire to rule. If you picture Zod, you might see a severe, imposing figure. Tall, sharp-eyed, dressed in a black uniform. He rarely smiles. His orders are sharp and final. In the pages of comics or on the silver screen, the message remains consistent. Zod sees himself not as a villain, but as a rightful ruler. Now, Zod's first appearance dates back to 1961 in Adventure Comics number 283. Conceived as a cold, calculating threat to Superman, he's been reimagined and reinterpreted ever since. In films, he's become iconic thanks in part to Terrence Stamp's chilling performance in Superman 2. And later, Michael Shannon's intense turn in Man of Steel. But it's not just the actors' what they represent. Zod is Superman's equal in power, but opposite in philosophy. Where Superman embodies hope and compassion, using his strength to protect, Zod believes only in strength itself. The weak must be ruled, the strong must lead. In his mind, Krypton's destruction was a failure of vision, a failure he can't forgive. He seeks to rebuild Krypton, often at any cost. Sometimes that means transforming Earth into a new Krypton, even if humanity is wiped out in the process. Other times, it means exacting personal revenge against Superman, the last son of a rival house. Zod's repertoire of powers makes his threat immediate and visceral. He can level cities, shatter armies, and challenge Superman in direct combat. Often he's portrayed not just as an enemy, but as a dark mirror. What if Superman, with all his potential, chose power over principle? But Zod's story isn't just about might. It's about the dangers of zealotry, of believing yourself to be the savior, justified in any means. Whether as a military dictator, a tragic loyalist, or a megalomaniac. Zod's relentless pursuit of order at the expense of freedom makes him more than just a simple villain. And yet he almost always loses, not because he's weaker, but because he underestimates hope. For all his grand speeches and terrifying powers, Zod cannot break the idea that compassion, even in the face of overwhelming might, can win. So who is General Zod? He is Krypton's greatest soldier, Superman's fiercest nemesis, and a warning of where absolute power and the belief in your own infallibility can lead. He stands as a challenge, not just to Superman, but to anyone who would rule instead of serve. Because in the end, every age has its Zod figure who demands the world kneel. But as long as there is someone to stand against them, kneeling is never the only choice.